sweaty, hot. I'm gonna spin around, see what it is in behind.
Go.
Alright, EDC on me. EDC on 3. 1, 2, 3.
EDC! That's how we get started.
He does it every time.
I really love it when you guys clap like that. It just blows the mic out.
Sorry. Welcome
Chad's got a very
to
loud clap.
Episode 6.
Retireholics, episode 6. 6.
Half dozen.
Sync. No, that's 5.
I'd say we're better than we were on the first one.
We're
Oh,
better
at
than
6, yeah.
We're better looking by now.
Welcome. I apologize if you've tuned in to our 6th episode, but we'll do the best we can. Today, we are going to, our bulk conversation will be about the Tony Robbins America's Best 401k plan. We will supplement it with some other industry topics. But the first thing I want to do is acknowledge some of our audience. I'm not going to call them fans because
that doesn't exist.
they're not really fans. But we do have an audience. And our audience have been, what's that?
What are we up to now?
Oh, well, we've over 1,040
That's
something
huge.
views. So that's a lot
Yeah.
more. But
I would say close to 940 of them are you.
it doesn't register like that. These are people that actually
back
watch
to
the
episode
show.
3, then we're still at the same.
Trust
number
me,
of
I've
views.
tried to rewatch it to get the views. It doesn't work. But we've gotten some feedback. Some positive, some negative. But we've got some feedback. We got an email or a text to Mark from an advisor who said he really loved our TPA Sucks hats, right? And
Well, he
wanted
wants one, yeah.
He used some LMFA, laughing
I think it was just
out loud
a
deals.
lull.
So that was pretty exciting.
Lol.
It was just
Lol.
lol.
Laugh out loud.
Is that what that
We
means?
got one from one of Justin's advisors saying that we were like Wayne's World. What did he say?
No, that was Chad's. Mine was,
Partner.
or actually it was out on the course last episode. They came walking by and they said if we're ever going to the river, we were inviting these guys.
Yes, they wanted to take us to the river.
Karen
So
Hawkins ruled it all.
we're hoping you
They
take
don't
us to
care.
your 401k point of sale, but they want to take us to the river. So that works too.
Which river?
I don't know.
Did
And
we
then-
party a little too much then?
No, we didn't at all. And then I ran into someone at the Giants game. I was down by the bathrooms, the Giants game. They screamed, instead of screaming my name, they screamed out Retireholics. So that was interesting. Turned out to be one of your advisors. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling. So check us out at
Claim to fame.
retireholics.com, our social media, yada yada.
Maybe he said that because he doesn't know your real name.
No,
Yeah, we never introduced ourselves on the show. I just realized.
All our names always
Our
come
names
up.
pop up.
Our names pop up. They
True.
know who we are.
I
They know
want
who
our
we are.
editor to put my name right here, right now.
Does Fritos pop up?
And Frito-Lay.
Yep. AKA
But we
taco.
kick off. This is our version of a boring webinar, but we think it's a little cooler than that. And we kick off every show with Beer 30. Mr.
Which-
Johansson, and you got a little story about these beers, which kind of
Well,
ties into our fans.
It does tie into our fans. Apparently, our partners are starting to watch the show.
Just a few.
About 2 weeks ago, we had a good partner in here, Mr. Tim Sasoya, who brought us all some beers.
Specifically for the show.
Specifically for the show.
Very fancy beer.
He apparently, after watching the show, felt the need to contribute to the show,
Yeah.
which we love.
This
so
is
thank
gonna
you.
pop. This is gonna pop.
If anyone else wants to send beer,
Woo!
please do.
Camera.
I got it here. Well, that's very nice of him to think of Retireholics
Come on.
when
There you
coming to our conference room. I don't know what corked beer tastes like. I'm ashamed to say.
Hey.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Wah,
So
wah,
I've got
wah.
Imperial Pumpkin, which has me terrified, but
I've got.
Come on, it's
something
almost Halloween. Get in the
I
spirit.
can't pronounce mine.
you have an Allagash. That's a very popular beer.
I can pronounce Allagash. I can't
Re-
pronounce the
Yeah,
where
what
it
do you
comes
got?
from.
Sure.
It's like French.
Saison du
Official
Pont.
beer.
Belgian
All
farmhouse
right,
ale.
cheers
Thank you, sir.
Thank
to
you,
beers
Tim.
and to 401k plans.
Yeah, they go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Are you reading that book to your daughter right now?
Which one?
Peanut butter and jelly.
There's a
Actually,
book
it's called
Peanut-
peanut butter and cupcake, but he ends up falling in love with jelly.
No, but I would
Because
like to read
cupcake
that
doesn't
book now.
isn't his best
Shit,
friend.
that was a bad pour.
Cheers.
Look at
The awesome mug that these guys don't have.
Why do we have mugs?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. Art,
There's
we're-
more
These aren't
feedback.
really mugs, but
We got about castrated.
someone
by
told us we're
a couple
not
advisors.
beer connoisseurs
we
if we
broke
drink
the cardinal rule of drinking good beer, basically.
out of the
So-
bottle.
So because of that, we listen. We appreciate feedback. Here we are, trying our best. These aren't pint glasses.
We'll
but
step it up. We'll get some
Yeah,
Retireholics pint
we
glasses.
move,
Slow.
but I listened. Same.
Check out if getting
Oh,
the
man.
boot is appropriate, because Justin was saying we should get the boot with the
Das
Retireholic-
Boot.
Das
Das
Boot.
Das Boot.
All right, let's kick into our first and kind of our main subject today. I think will be valuable for our advisors, for our attendees, or our viewers, I should say, is the America's Best 401k plan that's got a lot of hype and eyeballs on it because of Mr. Tony Robbins.
T-Rob.
T-Rob, the motivational speaker dude.
He's a
The
big,
intimidating
He's a
T-Rob.
big dude.
He's big
He
dude.
should be in the NFL. I mean, he's like Gronk.
I think
running routes.
he plays for the Giants.
He's pretty gnarly.
Oh wait, you guys.
we
aren't very
would win
good.
if he
Yeah,
played for the
exactly.
Giants.
I liked him in Shallow Hal. He was awesome.
What was he in Shallow House? He's a motivational speaker.
He's the guy. No,
He's the guy that-
guy who made the dude see chicks for who they really were inside.
Oh, I thought he was
Remember in
good.
the elevator where they got
He
trapped?
changed him.
I remember that part, but wasn't he like? Never mind. I'm just gonna shut up.
Yeah.
No, he's the one that changed him.
Yeah,
to
in
do
the
it.
elevator when they were
and then
stuck
he
in the
changed
elevator.
him back.
He just played himself though.
Yeah, he
didn't-
played
didn't
himself.
Play a character. He played Tony Robbins.
But he's the one who made
Which
that
he could probably do that to people.
happen.
He could probably convince
He's
them.
He's convincing
Yes.
the general public, much like Shallow Hal, that 401k plans are robbing them and that they need to take a closer look. Now, so I'm ripping on him, but we're not really. It's a pretty cool thing. So let's talk about the video so I can set the stage, then get some of your impact, and hopefully our audience learns a bit as we go. He's got a great video out there on their own website. He did an interview on LinkedIn. It's been on CNBC. I mean, a lot of press. It's going to be in his new book. The video talks about the fact that a story we've always believed in, that plan participants and plan sponsors, he says 8 out of 10 of them don't understand the fees being charged to their account. And 70% of those 8 out of 10, or 70% of that 80%, think that there are no fees, that their 401k plan is free. He says that's a problem. I think we all agree to that. I think our audience would agree to that. He then goes on to say that part of the problem with this is because it's hard to discover the fees. He says there's over 17 types. He references wrap fees and asset-based fees and participant fees and transaction costs and goes through the whole gamut of them all and sets that stage. He then talks about how that can erode away your balance or your nest egg over a period of 15, 20, 30 years. And then a reoccurring theme throughout, or a huge core component of it, is his belief and or America's Best 401k's belief that they like passive investing versus active investing.
Which is completely different than we've been hearing lately.
Well, it depends on the advisors you're talking to, and we kind of sit on the fence of that, you know. But specifically, institutional share class of index funds, aka passive investing, versus your typical actively managed mutual fund in a 401k plan. He represents those numbers as 1.50 as the typical mutual fund cost, and 0.14 as what their program would kind of recommend, an institutional index fund. So, cool story, a great story.
Been around for a
cool
long
story,
time.
bro.
Yes. Nothing earth-shattering.
It's been there for a long time.
It's
So,
like a good night story.
The big thing that I see when I see 1.4 versus 0.14 is really two very different structures. One is taking into account other services that are needed for the plan
advisor
functioning.
fees, record-keeping fees.
perhaps administration.
Yep. That's
Whereas
all built into that.
0.14 is nothing but investment costs.
That's a great point.
I'm just
I
curious.
touched your knee again.
Should
But
we,
that's a perfect... Sorry, go
touching
ahead.
his knee's nice. Yeah.
Sorry, go
Should
ahead.
we take offense to the fact? I mean, we're, as a TPA, for what we do, we get to go in there, dive in, learn about clients, design it, learn their objectives, learn their goals, really get in there, get our feet wet, our hands dirty, have fun with it. Should we take offense to the fact that he's kind of discounting that?
No,
I don't think so. Yeah.
because I mean, if you think
I
it's
do.
not- well, yeah, okay, yes. To us, it's offensive, right? Because it's everything that we're passionate about and we do
Right.
and we do well. But that's not what he's trying to deliver. I don't think. I think he's
Okay.
trying to just get people's wheels spinning.
I think he's avoiding that point of the conversation for
yeah.
the sake of the audience.
We need to
Right.
separate it into two things. The video and what he's offering as a solution, or
Yeah.
what America's Best is offering. So the video, no, it's just talking about
Just
passive
talking
versus active.
passive versus active.
The overall
Investment
solution,
costs.
Mark, yeah, we should be a little upset. We think there's value in
Right.
a third-party administrator and proper compliance.
And that battle that you're referencing there is something that we fought for years, because whether it's Tony Robbins or a bundled solution, that's the nature of that conversation from a TPA and administrative perspective. But I think what Tony's trying to get across,
You called him Tony?
yeah,
Wow,
he's
you're on a
my
first
man.
name basis.
He's dang right, Mr. Robbins and I. No, he's strictly comparing the investment costs and how it erodes away at someone's overall savings, because he's a believer in a passive approach.
Fair enough.
But I think the main point that's missed in that, for those that don't understand it, if it's a participant or a plan sponsor, one of those 80% or one of the 70 of the 80% that is watching that video, they're going, oh my gosh, 1.4 versus 0.14. There's a drastic difference there. He even says through one of the conversation points, as he's referencing a different article, but that it's 1,000% difference. But what is really happening there is that 1.4% or the 3.14 that he references
Bigger number he represents.
from a different source is not just investment. I mean, theoretically, it is the cost of the investment, but it's covering other services. It's like going to a doctor's office and paying for service at a doctor's office. Well, you're not just paying for his time. You're paying for the nurses that are there and the time that you're spending within there, and potentially paying for the X-rays that you got as part of that overall bill.
Like
That's
you
what
would
he's
pay
avoiding.
for your separated
That's right.
shoulder.
For all
It's,
of my
your
injuries.
point is, and I agree, is that it's a little bit misleading. I don't think that's necessarily his intention, but it's a little misleading. So what our advisors need to know, and if plan sponsors are watching, what they need to know, and strategic partners, is that there's still record keeping going on with this America's Best 401k. It's done by Lincoln Trust.
Mhm.
There's a fee for
Admin.
it. There's still admin going on, done by Lincoln's Trust. There's still a advisor role. It's a little bit of a different advisor role, but it's a 338 role.
There's
with
still
a
an
fee.
investment advisor role.
So there are fees for those services. They're low-cost fees, because I've looked at them. I won't go into detail here, but
Let's add, it's not part of that 1.14%.
No, it's not part of
It's
that
on
video.
top of that.
it's not part of that video. But they're still, in the end, low cost. But like I've said, that's not earth-shattering, T-Rob.
Well,
That's what I call him.
There, man, you
Wait,
guys are
to
tight.
people like us who do this,
We've
day
had
in,
that
day
for
out,
years.
though,
Huh?
it's not earth-shattering, but to plan sponsors, it might be.
It's
Yeah,
because they
I
don't
think
quite
it is.
understand.
I
For
don't understand.
and the neat thing is, and I think that this is maybe a good way to position this as an avenue or an arrow in an advisor's quiver. It's not only is it not earth shattering, but every single advisor that's listening or watching this, you have this as a resource yourself.
Could offer the same kind of solution.
The same kind of solution. Look, think about this. Of the providers we work with who already has an institutional, indexed available solution, most of them at any plan size.
All
Doesn't
of
mean
them,
that they're
yeah.
less cost. It just means that there's an additional line item for advisor comp and for record keeping and admin, just like this product has.
Right.
Nationwide's doing it. Principal's doing it. Hancock's doing it.
Voya's doing
Standard's doing it. Voya's doing it.
Power.
Empower has custom key. I mean, it's out there. They're all doing it, and every advisor, whether RIA or registered rep or IAR, has access to it. What I thought was really neat about this is that it's Tony Robbins, who's a face,
It's not Tony Robbins. It's actually Tony Robbins.
Tony
Like,
Robbins.
he doesn't need quotes.
He's that big. He doesn't even need quotes.
No, he doesn't. If his name was like a nickname for him, like T-Rob.
T-Rob.
It's T-Rob.
There you go.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
It's T-Rob, He has books.
digress.
He has an audience. He has a following. He's impactful. He's motivational to folks.
He's a big dude.
He is a massive
He
man.
was awesome in Shallow Wow.
Yes, there you go. So you take what he's saying. Imagine an advisor going into to an initial point of sale, and you're saying, "Hey, this is a conversation that many have avoided for years, but it's gaining so much traction that it's talked about on CNBC. It's talked about on Good Morning America. You have Tony Robbins, who people know. He's preaching about it. And now, what if you were to splice out? I don't know if you could legally do this, but splice out the 2 minutes, the 2 minutes of the
At
middle
the end
of
of
that
the logo.
Without the logo. Leave
Do you
the
know when I
logos off
first
and
heard
take
it?
the content.
When I first heard it and that logo came at the end, there was part of me, I was wrong. There's part of me that thought that, is this private labeled? Like, are there people all over the country that can throw their logo on the end of this?
And it's him.
But it wasn't.
Well, that's kind
It's
of what
a legit
happened.
deal.
According to the testimony, is he took his company's plan
I
there,
won't comment.
fell in love with it, and then decided,
I
I'm
won't
now
comment
purchasing
on that.
ownership of the company, or part ownership, I would
I
imagine.
didn't get that from the video. I feel like he just.
He
fell
said
in love
that.
with the
Did you-
concept.
He said
Did you
that.
see the interview? It's the interview that he really
He did
talks
say
about.
that.
On the
He
preschool
said he
church,
took his
on
plan
the
out
preschool
to market
church,
it.
yeah.
and
I have
finally
just a
changed it.
question though, because again, he's a motivational speaker.
Hey,
That's what he
T-Rob,
built
how'd
his
you like
foundation.
to get quality administrator? He could be our spokesperson.
No, we
Never
have a
mind.
we have a
He should come
spokesperson.
sit. We would
Right
have to
here.
clear the whole couch, but he could come sit in this entire region.
Freeho.
You can fit in the camera frame?
No. Yeah.
We are
So
gonna
he's
get
a
sued.
motivational speaker. He's written books. He's got a huge following. He's got nationwide presence. That's more than a lot of people can say. But let me just throw a curveball. I should say. Let me throw a spiral. We got Peyton Manning, right? Nationwide. See,
He does his ads.
he does the ads. What if he was like, said the same spiel? Would we be having the same conversation right now? Like chicken
No.
parm, you taste so good.
I think
Would he be saying
Mark
something?
likes that ad.
That's
It's the
chicken
second time he's
I'm a
mentioned it.
Raider
So
fan, and as a
good.
Denver Bronco quarterback, Peyton Manning, you are a genius.
Yeah,
But
no, celebrity helps.
I think the celebrity side of things would really help.
I
but
think it helps a lot. It gives it more value to people who don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
completely agreed. I think the difference between the two, while what Peyton has done with his career, his life, his dedication to the community, would be impactful if he said those same things. He's not known as being a finance guy, and Tony Robbins is. He's known as being a life coach and a finance guy, and I think that's why it carries a little extra clout.
So let's wrap it. I know you guys are passionate about this, but the video's cool. I think it makes some great
Can
points.
be used.
The product is nothing different than we've had for years. It's a low cost solution, whatever.
ADP.
And Tony Robbins is a cool guy, and he does great motivational stuff, and he really helped Shallow House see the light.
Dude, good for him.
It is about
Yeah.
someone's
Watch that movie.
personality.
It's fairly new,
So now you know.
right? Just
Yeah,
came out.
that's good. I think the Wheel of Ice should have like a theme song or a jingle. It should
Can
be
I
like,
pick the song?
The Wheel of Ice, the Wheel of Ice, the Wheel of Ice.
I'm kind of
No.
thinking more of a Eye of the Tiger, just the intro.
It's the
As
Wheel of Ice, it's the Wheel of the
a
Ice.
little pitch.
You need to plug your ear when you do it so that you can properly hear.
Shadow, yours refer to this human being that helps us as the hand.
The hand.
Do you want to ask the hand to spin the wheel?
The hand, let's see the spin.
The hand's gonna be a full person.
Wheel
in
of
this.
Ice, Wheel of Ice.
It's gonna be Taco.
Oh, I think that's Mark.
Is it?
It's Mark.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Your record stands, my friend.
get him that
I'm
record.
undefeated?
Get him that peach flavored
Just call
ice.
me
over
New
there.
England, Green Bay.
Green Bay.
You like the-
nuts?
You like the peach flavored one,
3 and
right?
3.
Always get the
Oh, it's the
standard-
hand. It's the hand.
Oh.
Standard wheel of Smirnoff
I
Ice.
told
Let me
you I
open.
like
I
Tom
feel like
Brady
you
right
can't
there, by
keep
the way,
twisting those off. You're gonna hurt your
I'll
hand.
try sensitive hands. Skin. This is not
You guys are
going well.
struggling.
There you go.
There we go.
You're good at designing formal game plans, not good at open Smirnoff.
That's because I don't typically open Smirnoff ices.
Does he
I always
enough
have to
room?
move
Does
to
it-
give
it's-
him room.
Well, he always does the.
This is like the requirement. Can I sit down and do it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Requirement.
All right.
Taco, do you
Hey,
need to sit,
Smirnoff, if
bud?
you're watching, you might want to just hook me up with a sponsorship.
Better than Insure. Knock it down.
Actually, no, it's
you
not.
like the Insure. I know.
We should have gotten pumpkin spice flavored.
Ouch. There was about 6 flavors when I went there and got this one. Yeah.
Hey,
That peach
while Mark's
Bellini
doing
or
his
whatever,
Smirnoff
so-
Ice, I'm gonna multitask. Can we help our advisors understand the new 2016 retirement plan limits?
It's gonna take a while.
Is it?
They're the same.
They're the same.
Jeez.
So if that
One
went
difference.
past you, the new 2016
It's
limits
just this new year that we're going
are
into.
what,
Got a
Mark?
6 instead of a 5.
The same.
They're the same. It's 2015.
After watching Mark chug and sure and loving it at the golf course, I really think he can chug anything we put in front of him.
You'd be wrong.
Pumpkin ale,
I
he may
think
not
next
be
time
able to.
we need to start switching up the flavors consistently.
I need a chaser for my craft Smirnoff brew.
Do we all know where the Smirnoff Ice came into our lives?
Tip it a little bit.
I
Yes,
just said that it came to me because I got iced and I was like, I don't know what that means.
You got ice. Do you remember where it came into our lives?
Yeah, your honeymoon.
Yes. We were on a cruise ship on our honeymoon, and
I
we
was
got
on his honeymoon.
we got brought up to do an event. Like, you know, the entire ship's around, and we had to carry like an egg on a spoon in our mouth across the
The
pool.
little Olympics.
And everybody's around huddled, and this group of people that we had met the night before came running up and iced us in front of everybody on the
just
cruise
putting
ship.
a Smirnoff Ice
They-
at you. on
At
your
you,
hand,
and then
whatever.
you immediately wherever you are, have to immediately get on your knee and chug it.
Is there a limit to that? Can they just come back and get you in the next 10 minutes?
No. No, I mean, it's pretty hard to
And
find
then
Smirnoff
this
Ices
guy
on a
took
cruise
it to
ship.
another level. I mean,
Started buying massive ones.
Well, no, I mailed you a 6-pack.
Oh.
oh, that's right.
But that's where it came. I mean, we were sitting in front of the cruise
I think
ship.
every time
The
we
cruise
were
ship
around, it
ran
was
out
like-
of Smirnoff Ices on that trip because once they introduced that to us, we just started icing
Doing it
them
outside.
every time we saw this group. It was probably, I mean, there were 6 people that we had met. This group of 6 is the ones that introduced us to it.
The
It was
first
pretty
one
cool.
to do it on that cruise ship worked for Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, right.
I have to imagine it was around
I've got this
before
great
that
idea,
happened.
guys. I've got this
Yeah.
great idea.
It's gonna be
Around
on a
for lot
cruise
longer than
ship.
that, but-
I'm sure it
The
has.
ship is sinking. I've got to do
Perfect.
this.
Do you know that Retireholics
No pun intended there.
on Instagram follows Smirnoff Ice? I even quoted them, whatever it is when you quote
What?
their name
You
on
finished.
Instagram.
That was
No,
good.
no, I gave some to him, some dude. I'm not pounding that entire beer. I would.
I'm staying away from the pumpkin ale.
See if
Yeah.
they follow us back, but they didn't.
Sorry, we totally just
No, it's fine.
sent
I
you out there.
just trying to talk about how I was trying to follow Smirnoff Ice and get them to recognize us online, but they didn't want to.
They probably watched the show and
Good
went,
time.
"Oh my gosh."
Maybe.
We gotta get creative. Maybe I should wear like a Smirnoff suit.
Someday they'll sponsor us or something. I want to bring up some. I want to bring up some pop culture kind of things. So today I was doing a little research. Simply Googled 401k, hit the news deal at Google, and I saw a headline. And maybe our editor producer can throw up the headline I saw. It says Marshawn Lynch gives 401k advice. So I thought that might be something. I know you guys are big football fans. What do you think about?
Hey, bro, I've been
And
here all
the
time.
pitch of the story is that one of his players, I told you his name, do you remember?
Tyler Lockett.
Said that Marshawn Lynch helps him out with his 401k, and it apparently helps out other guys on the team. And
Well, he's making a lot of money.
why
Let's
did
be
this
honest.
make headlines? Is Marshawn Lynch not
Let's
a
just be
smart
honest.
dude?
Those guys make a lot of money. He's probably like, first off,
I think he is.
put your 17.5, 18K, whatever the limit's going to be for next year.
Well, it'll be 18 for next year, Mark.
Listen! So put that in. I mean, that's what, like $3 to those guys, right?
Yes.
True.
Invest into
Agreed.
Skittles.
If
Thus
they have
adding
a
to
self-directed
his
brokerage
pocket.
account, they could invest in Skittles.
And he's a happy camper. He's probably like, bruh, Skittles.
Let's be honest.
I
Is
don't
it
think
is it a
that's what
front?
it is.
I mean, I know he doesn't like to be in media. Is it a front, the personality? Because he went to Cal.
Well, think
He's
about it.
smart. Oh,
He's
smart,
got a
yeah.
master's,
He's smart.
right?
I think
He's
he's
got it.
He's just a personal guy.
What's his name? Isn't he
The
like
shooting
beast
of
mode or
everything.
something?
The guy that does not like to do interviews or media is beyond popular and does a whole bunch of interviews, commercials. What's the last commercial he just did where he's up in the classroom like, I've been here the whole time, bro.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I've been here the whole time.
I'm sure his teammates
Genius.
need help.
Well, and
Seahawks?
that's what the article said. It starts with him with the teammates saying,
the
"I help
Seahawks-
him with all kinds of different things. He helps us with our 401k," and he goes on to other topics. But
Because most NFL Seahawks get pretty smart with their investments, I'd imagine.
you got Richard Sherman on your team.
Well, he's
Yeah.
he went like Stanford or something,
yeah.
right?
Ain't nobody
Yeah.
got time for that.
So, it is okay. What would the lesson be learned? It is okay for a plan participant to help other plan participants. Just don't do it if you're human resources or the plan trustee, right? Because we always get that where
Could he get in trouble for that?
if you guys
seen that
came to
lawsuit?
me as the owner of the company here and said, hey, what are you doing in your 401k? What are you investing in? And I sat you down and said, oh, check it out. I do this and then you should do this. I could get in trouble.
So that private meeting we had, we shouldn't say that?
No, yeah, that shouldn't happen. But Marshawn Lynch can help. That'd be like Justin helping Mark.
That's
Whoa.
the funniest thing you've ever said.
Whoa.
Cheers, man.
Elbow.
Elbow. You just Tom Brady'd me again.
Last episode, we talked a bit about Nationwide's fun window. So kind of a vendor record keeper update. This episode, Transamerica, or as I like to call Transam, they never, when I say that, they never like correct me.
giggles.
I always say, they're like, okay.
When you first said that, I thought you were going after, you said TA, I thought you were going after Tim Allen,
Oh,
who's the local.
I was going
Trans Am.
Transam.
Yeah.
They come out with a new product. We've been hearing about it for months, this small market product they're going to come out with. And now it's released, so the brochures are out. You guys sat in on a webinar and learned a bunch about it. I stuck my nose into the brochures and read some stuff. So kick us off with this small market, which they mean 0 to 250.
250 is where they're pushing.
I'll do a couple things and you take it from there. It's built on comp,
Bless you.
so it's 50 bips.
Bless you.
Bless you. 50 bips regardless, right?
you.
That's for the advisor
Correct.
comp. And it's you take it from there since you said it on a webinar.
So I told these guys as we finished the webinar, I said, what are they really hoping to accomplish with the product? And I think it's one of a few things. The first is they want to compete with American Funds, who's really
Okay.
dominating the startup marketplace. The second thing is they really want advisors who aren't willing to give them a shot at where they do their best work, which would be probably 1 to 5, we'll say. They're not willing to give them a shot on the 1 to 5 because they don't know the product. They don't know
They
the
haven't
service
tested
team.
them
They haven't
in the
tested it.
smaller market.
And they're not, because Transam never really bid well on the startup market or things smaller than $1 million, there are many advisors that never gave them a shake. So I think
Yep.
they're really working to get those folks to give them a chance on the small plan so that they can get their sweet spot, which would be 1 to 5.
Okay.
And the third component is I truly believe they're looking at this and saying, hey, because the economy is doing well and things are doing well, we really want to go after this because these plans will grow into our ideal
It's
market.
happening now, and,
Yeah.
and it'll grow.
Because you have these groups, especially when MyRA started to come out
Mhm.
and different topics, you have these groups that are now setting up plans that have 40, 50 people that are going to flow, $150,000 a year.
And the product was also, looks to me like it was made to be simple, too. right?
Very,
Like
very
easy to-
That's what they
simple.
focused on
Yeah.
forever.
Simple.
Halfway through this, I said, man, they should have Smart Easy Awesome.
Just
Yeah.
kind of key in a small market thing.
It is,
right?
and
Easy for the
so
plan sponsor.
I think the few advisors that I've talked to about it, they all came with kind of some negative thoughts initially of this looks very similar to any other product, just slightly lower in cost. Because their whole approach with Transam at creating the product was to have one kind of flat billable fee to the client and then NAV in terms of investment
There's like a
costs.
per head, right?
Yeah, it's a per head. It's $24 per head with a $500 minimum is how it's
Yeah,
structured.
yeah.
And then NAV funds that will range, right around 1.75 to 2% all in for a startup. They wanted to make it simple. It's multiple manager. The couple of beautiful things in terms of my opinion, the takeaways was it is simple, as you guys said. They're going to set it up to where all you need is a notice of intent, starts the process. All contracts will then come out through DocuSign.
You liked that, didn't you?
I love
I
that
knew that
because
was what you
so
liked.
here's the thing.
No.
What's the worst thing that happens? And I'm not going to ask name names, but you tell me you experience it live and in color. What's the worst thing that happens when you're responsible for getting docs completed from a record keeper's perspective? It's the back and forth. What do we check here? What do we check there? Oh, you checked the wrong thing. Now the docs come back not approved. Now you need to redo it. The DocuSign program is going to force you to click things correctly. Otherwise, it doesn't let you proceed.
Right.
So it eliminates the back and forth. It's
Using
electronic
text to get
signatures.
Signatures out of the gates.
You get to the point where the plan's set up, you have a stated core menu, you have 321 fiduciary support on the core menu. It is what it is.
Here's
That's
$1
what you
million
get.
question. What are the TDFs?
TDFs are BlackRock.
BlackRock.
So BlackRock.
But
yeah, they got another solution. Right?
they do, which is what I think is a selling point of the product, is they're taking their upper market Portfolio Express, which is customized target date suites
By
with the underlying core menu.
Or Mesero. Sorry.
They're co-fiduciaries for Mesero, so I would assume that the
Those
asset
models are
allocation is
built-
set
yeah,
up
they're
in
built
Mesero
by the
as
same
well.
company. Hopefully it's
But they
Mesero.
give you a multiple manager target date suite of the underlying core menu based upon age and risk tolerance. So it's not just a proprietary target date suite or a single fund family proprietary target date suite. Here's, again, I think that's a big selling strategy. But the third piece to it when it comes to simplicity is that they have 3 types of enrollment. You have online enrollment, you have phone-in enrollment, which most everybody has, but then they're also still allowing for paper enrollment, which you'd be surprised. Advisors come back and say, hey, people want to turn in forms.
Yeah, sure.
And we want those to have some sort of ability to turn them in. They're calling it their enroll card. Enroll card. And it's a card
So
with like 6
meaning
different
not
questions.
a book.
No.
Yeah.
It's a card. A simple
like
card.
that.
6
I like
different
that.
questions. Turn it in. They'll enroll you.
I like that.
So they are creating simplicity with it.
Without having to do the whole enrollment book and killing all the trees and going
Yeah.
through that whole process.
Yeah.
Because that's why most people want to do online enrollment, is most people record keepers, because it saves in costs. And it's cool, modern day. We're all going to be there someday soon.
Well, it's easier to update materials too. You know, if they make a change to the fund menu, you're not rolling on an old book. It's
So,
live.
what's it called?
FastTrack.
Ooh.
I will say
Very
that-
Trans-Am-y.
Although, isn't that some sort of thing you get across the bridge for? Too?
Yeah, right. Just in the Bay Area, bro.
Same.
It's a national product.
It's registered trademark.
Trademark. Yeah.
So Transamerica, new small market solution. It's out. It's ready to rock. You guys like it? It's simple. It's,
Efficient.
you know.
I told them the one, when I had this conversation with the local RVP, I said the one area, let's be honest, the folks who are making a big impact in the K market aren't typically looking for K plans or startup plans. They'll write some, but that's not what they're out getting. So those who are typically setting up startup plans don't necessarily want to spend the time to create the enrollment presentation, to go in and host the meeting, to really understand the process, to follow up, turn your forms in on this date, and to really spearhead that process. So they've created, which I've been pushing on other partners for years, a web enrollment process as well. So an advisor can take in a link or take in this web educational enrollment meeting, and it will still talk about the topics that you would typically cover in a normal education enrollment meeting, and follow it up with an enrollment feature of the conversation. I think that's attractive for those folks.
That's cool. Great show. Keep building our content and our value for our advisors. I think we've done it again. I think our outdoor golf show in San Clemente was pretty drab and to the point, but valuable and good.
We were in board shorts,
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
hats,
It was good.
drinking
It was
Coors
good.
Light.
Informational. I thought we hit some good things today. Hopefully it'll come across. But for episode number 7, which I want you all to know will be our last episode for 2015, which means we've done 7 episodes in the calendar year, and then we'll start up again in 2016. We will film in December, and stay tuned, or tune in, I should say, because we're going to do a new segment that I'm very, very excited about. We're going to do trivia questions for Mr. Chad Johansson. And if he gets one of the questions wrong, they'll all be retirement plan questions. We are going to tase him with a tase gun. What do you call it?
A stun gun.
A stun gun. So
That's dedication.
that's what's going to go down. That's legit. It's going to happen. Tune in for it. So I'll just leave it at that. But that's
I'm
going to
kind of excited about it.
I know,
I might
I know.
hit the ground and flop around for a little bit, but
We'll
I'm
see.
excited about it.
First off, tune into that because I can't wait to see you hit the floor. I'm probably gonna jump on you and hurt you more.
right here.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have medical
my
standby.
dog.
I don't know.
Real quick, this is happening right when the World Series started. We're all baseball fans, somewhat, right?
Oh,
real quick,
predictions.
30 seconds. Who you got? Just name it.
Royals.
Who?
Royals.
I thought you said the Orioles. Okay. What do you say?
Royals in 7.
I'm going to go against both you. Mets in 6.
Rose in 6.
There we have it.
As long as it's not the Dodgers, I'm good.
Well,
If
it won't
Mark
be.
loses, he has to put a 9-volt battery to his tongue.
There we go.
If I
it's
lose,
almost the same.
I'll get stun gunned. Nope, not
So,
You sound like Chad at the golf
thanks for
course.
tuning in. We'll see you next time with Chad. Comment at retireholics.com. Comment on YouTube if you have a YouTube account.
Text us. That's been
You
working
can text
well.
us. You can email us. You can
Send
you can
us more beer, please. We can't
follow us
afford
on
more.
Facebook, which is Retireholics. Instagram at Retireholics. Twitter at Retireholics. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cheers,
All right,
fellas.
this is
out.
our version.
Of a boring webinar. If you want one of these limited edition, Freely, come here. Limited edition, not jackets, but your TPA Sucks hat, you can call 1-800-PDC for life. That's a fake number. Don't call it. Or you can challenge me to a duel on the golf course. You have to pay. I'll come play. I'll beat you. No duh. And then you get a hat. If I lose, which I won't, because I don't lose ever. By the way, so remember that. I win. You lose. Okay. So you'll never get a hat. You'll be sad. I'll have the hat. I'll wear the hat. A lot. I'll wear it to a meeting. I'll win the plan. You'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'll take you to the golf course to celebrate. I'll beat you again. I'll keep the hat. It's a repetitive cycle, you see.